Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. For today's viewer requested video, we've got from Errorcutive. Can you do flat plating the bird, inverted quotes? There's a maneuver diagram for it. The maneuver is made by John 42nd Boyd, who made the F-16, and Candelaria P-51. Little trick. Odd syntax there, but I get the point. Website 1. Boyd was famous for a maneuver he called flat plating the bird. He would be in defensive position with the challenger right on his tail, both pulling heavy Gs. When he would suddenly pull the stick aft, brace his elbows on either side of the cockpit so the stick would not move laterally, and stomp the rudder. It doesn't say which way. It was as if a manhole cover was sailing through the air and then suddenly flipped 90 degrees. The underside of the fuselage, wings and horizontal stabs became a speed brake that slowed the Hun. The Hun is the nickname for the F-100 Super Sabre, which I guess is what he was flying, from 400 knots, guessing IAS, to 150 knots in seconds. The pursuing pilot was thrown forward and now Boyd was on his tail radioing guns, guns, guns. So complete reversal, so basically forcing an overshoot. Okay. Now, what I saw was aft stick and rudder, which, because first of all I thought this is just a high G barrel roll, but I believe a high G barrel roll is going to need aileron as well. So from that side of things, it doesn't seem to be a high G barrel roll. Next, website. Developing winners, John Boyd's insights to ensure victory when facing uncertainty and unpredictable change. This is 1960, it looks like, aerial attack study is what we're going to be looking at here. You can see the F-16 program, mid-70s there. And what we're looking at here, the specifics, so this is a particular example that we're looking on here. Action began at an altitude of 30,000 feet, very high, with the opposing pilot 500 feet behind Boyd. Boyd, as the defender, set the initial speed and selected the first maneuver. Now, we've got to remember, at the time, the kind of aircraft we were talking about, like we said, the F-100 Super Sabre, the, I guess, MiG-19, maybe very early MiG-21. So we're talking about very low quality kind of Sidewinder type missiles, probably at the best, or guns. So, you know, these are not modern missiles we're talking about. It is old school dogfighting. After a few maneuvers, Boyd was in a position for a kill shot. He defeated most contenders in less than half the allotted time. No one defeated him. So this is in, red flag type simulation, presumably. Boyd employed a decisive maneuver after he probed the capabilities of his opponent during the initial portion of the combat. He observed his opponent's responsiveness. He determined when his opponent was likely to overshoot and when they were likely to undershoot. Boyd developed strategic advantages during combat situations to create the conditions for a sudden victory. This is the mark of a proper fighter pilot. This is something I could never do. Boyd's capabilities for faster tempos was advantageous, but consistent winning required more than superior loop times. He developed techniques to exploit fast transients and asymmetric fast transients. I don't know what that is, but he required more to win consistently. Boyd's victory emerged through interaction with his opponents. He crafted his approach based on what he knew about the attacker. So instead of do everything to the same attacker like I would do, he watched the attacker, learned from the attacker, and then adjusted as necessary. Winning required a combination of maneuvers. Boyd used one maneuver a lot. It was known as flat plating the bird. Only a few pilots have the skill and confidence to do this maneuver routinely. Flat plating the bird started with Boyd's F-100 transitioning from 450 knots to 150 knots by using the bottom of his F-100 as an air brake. A bit like if you imagine a Cobra from an Su-27 flanker, but it's not quite going to be the same. During the deceleration, the opposing pilot, red pilot, moves from advantageous position behind Boyd to the vulnerable position in front of Boyd very quickly. It's known as an overshoot or forcing an overshoot, and is the best thing you can do if you are a defender in a dogfight. After deacceleration, the pilot recovers by doing a snap roll. This combination of maneuvers required great skill and low speed control. The F-100 was not forgiving at low speed, and that's where we're going to find the trouble. At 450 knots, probably we're not going to get 450 knots IAS, but at high speed, the type of planes we're going to be driving today will be very stable, but at low speed they will be extremely unstable. When done perfectly, Boyd Blue is in a position for a kill shot, and it goes on like that. I'm making an example here. The bad MiG-21 or whatever that's trying to represent is trying to get a solution, a gun solution. And then this point here, when he's selected an opportune time, he's done the maneuver, which we'll call just the plate, just for ease of use. Massively high angle of attack temporarily. The other guy flies by. Our man recovers and then attacks. Now, the difficulty is probably not going to be in getting the aircraft to a massively high angle of attack and doing the brake. That's probably going to be quite easy. It's going to be the recovery. The recovery is going to be difficult.
If you read there specifically, it says after the deceleration, the pilot recovers. So that's why I said you have to pull it back until it's at 150 knots, then recover.
Roger.
Using, in this case, it says a snap roll.
Yeah.
Which to me makes more sense. But you can roll with the rudders as well.
Well, I don't think with a swept wing plane like the Thud and planes that we're going to drive, I don't think we're going to get any aileron authority anyway, so I think it's all going to be done with a rudder and elevator.
Would you really have rudder authority? The fuselage would be blanking it out at high AOA.
Don't know, we're going to have to see. I'll try, but we'll see. Okay, we're in now. We've selected 3 different fighters that we're going to try. Now, the stream have asked if we try some newer planes, F-16, Tomcat and whatnot, and it's not what I want to look at today. I want to keep it period accurate if we can. So what we've got here is a MiG-19P, so it's roughly contemporary on the Soviet side. You can see we've got a similar swept wing format, single tail as the Thud, so I'd expect similar performance from this here. And then we've got the MiG-21, which is again early versions of the MiG-21, contemporary with the Thud. Although it's contemporary in time, it's not contemporary in aircraft type. You can see a different type of wing here, swept leading edge, but straight rear edge, so that may or may not perform. And finally, we've got the old Sabre, so this is the predecessor to the Super Sabre or the Thud, similar but much scaled down, a little more stable. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll start in the F-86. It's going to be probably the safest of these 3 aircraft. It's going to allow us to fly the slowest. We're up at Angels 30, like it said in the document, and let's go as fast as we can. We'll see the IAS, indicated airspeed, at the bottom of the ribbon. Okay, we're pretty much to the top speed now, Mach 0.93. As you can see on the left, we've got our controls. We're going to do full backstick, and I'm going to go right rudder in 3, 2, 1, go. Didn't really work. It just kind of did a high G barrel roll type thing. Probably looked quite cool, like spirals and stuff going through the sky, but should be easy to recover from. Well, I say, but let's try. Stomp the rudder, yeah, pretty easy to recover from. Wasn't really what I was looking for. We never presented that much body frame to the airflow for reasons that I couldn't possibly understand, but it just didn't work. So next, let's go and try the MiG-21. This is a 1970s 21 Biz, so it's not identical, but it's similar enough to the late 50s. Now, okay, 350, that should do us. Full afterstick, full right rudder, and hold. Oh no, it didn't like that. Watch the speed drop, watch the speed drop, watch the speed drop. 150 and resume. Get out of the spin, which I'm probably not going to be able to do. Yes, I can. I have control. But the engine, the alpha got so high there that the nose cone stalled, and we've got a compressor stall. So that is recoverable. We can restart the engine, but I would obviously be dead in a dogfight. So that plane certainly does not work. Let's try what I consider the closest. Obviously, we don't have a Thud in this video game, but the closest is going to be the MiG-19 Papa here. Off we go. It's got to speed up. Angels 30. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, now look at the speed go down. Okay, whoop, too low, too low. And here's the danger. Why not many people would do this, because the aircraft has now, I don't know what it's doing, but I'm struggling. Okay, I'm in control. That was actually a great example. I wasn't expecting it to be that easy, if I'm honest. I'm not sure what that looked like from the outside, but we did a full stall all the way down to about 100 knots, so a little lower than we had to. And then a recovery, which to be honest was more fluke than anything. There was certainly no skill there, and I managed to recover. Now, my slight complaint is that he said he gets on the tail of the hostile from here, but the hostile would have shot by at 400 knots, 350 knots, and I'll never catch him up. So that's kind of debunked to that a bit, in my opinion, but I'm no expert. Let's go and try it again, shall we? Why don't we try an outside view, see what it looks like. Okay, and we're going to go aft and rudder stomp. Oh, look at it go. Over it goes. And, oh dear. Oh no. That's tragic. We'll see now another danger of doing this. The airframe isn't designed to be a massive air brake, and structure, you know, things like this might happen, I'm afraid. Another reason why, you know, this is not official maneuver. Let's try it again. So we're going to look at the speed at the bottom and go. Recover. Try and recover. Just realised I'm not showing my controls. Get the nose down. Get the rudder. Yep, that's back in control. Problem is, you're so energy low at this point, it's very hard to recover. Let's see how we can get our speed back. Yeah, I mean, it does what it says in the tin. It gets you behind the bad guy. Whether it gives you a solution, I think that's debunked, to be honest. I don't think you can get a solution. What we need now is to fight against a contemporary bad guy. Okay, we've got, this time, an aggressor to make things a bit more spicy. It is a F5E Tiger II. Now, it's not contemporary. It's about 10 years at least later than the planes we're looking at today, but it's going to make a good aggressor. 3, 2, 1, unpause, full power. 3, 2, 1, go. And there he goes. Get some! Get some! Oh no, I put myself into a horrible spin. I got too excited. And come on, Cap. No one wants to see Cap die. No one in the world, of all the haters, even on Hoggit, want to see Cap die. Come on. Got myself in the flat spin, valued viewers. Unfortunately, that's a death sentence, especially for a plane like this. I can squirm and I can squiggle and I can do everything, but nothing's going to get me out. Right, let's just pretend that never happened. We'll cut it out of the video and we'll try again. Stand by. Back to spectators. 3, 2, 1, go. Woo! Not going to put it in a stall again. Oh.
Consistency is the way.
Consistency is key in dogfighting. So what we've got here, valued viewers, is a massive lack of skill mixed with a very complex maneuver mixed with a very unforgiving airframe. That's the problem we've got, and there's no way I'm getting out of that flat spin. I'm going to pause it there. Okay, Chopsticks, we could do that all day, and I just haven't got the skill to get out of it. You need John 42nd Boyd to know how to control a plane like this at 90 knots. But it shows the concepts there. You certainly do fly by. There's very little chance you're going to be able to put your air brakes on and stop with me. You've just got to have the skill of being able to kind of get out of it at the end, and I could practice all day and probably not be able to do that. I think it was fluky. At the beginning, anything you want to add to that, Chopsticks?
Good luck to whoever gets out of that. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you later.